10 color combinations that make men look expensive. I had to do the men version because they wanted to eat me up. Let's get right into it. Rust and mint green. I call this effortless control for the man who doesn't need to shout to be seen. He walks in quietly, but somehow the room adjusts. Let me tell you why it works. It works because it creates contrast without chaos, soft versus bold, cool versus warm. Chartreuse and chocolate brown. I call this disciplined boldness. This is for the man who likes attention but doesn't beg for it. Chartreuse brings the energy, chocolate brings the control. I will tell you why it works. It works because chartreuse is loud, chocolate is calm. When one is controlling the other, it stops looking risky and starts looking expensive. Navy blue and camel. I call this quiet money. This is not styling. This is restraint. It works because navy alone can feel too serious. Camel alone can feel too relaxed. But together, camel softens the navy, navy sharpens the camel. Let's talk butter yellow and gray. I call this light discipline. Butter yellow is soft, warm, refined brightness, and gray is calm, neutral, and structured. I will tell you why it works. It works because butter yellow brings the light and gray keeps it grounded. And when brightness is controlled like this, that's when it starts to look expensive. Rust and baby blue. I call this one warm, cool balance. This is for the man who doesn't just wear clothes. He orchestrates them. Rust brings the heat, baby blue brings the calm. Together, blue cools down the intensity of rust and rust adds depth to the softness of blue. Let's talk wine and dusty pink. I call this refined seduction. This is for the man who is confident enough to wear softness, but intentional enough to control it. And I freaking will tell you why it works. It works because it blends power with softness, strong with gentle, deep with light, masculine versus refined. I don't even know my favorite writer anymore. Periwinkle and tan. I call this soft luxury. This is for the man who understands that looking expensive doesn't mean looking intimidating. It works because it creates luxury without pressure, expensive but easy. Mr. Easy. Plum and olive. I call this grounded royalty. This is for the man who is rich in taste, bold in identity, but still controlled. It works because it blends opulence with restraint. It blends rich versus earthy. Let's talk indigo and ochre. I call this pure authority. This is for the man who knows how to command attention without losing control. It works because indigo holds the authority, ochre brings it to life. Rust plus coral. I call this layered warmth. This is for the man who understands that bold doesn't always mean contrast. Rust alone can feel too heavy. Coral alone can feel too loud. But together, coral lifts the heaviness of rust and rust controls the brightness of coral. So the outfit becomes warm, but still refined. Save this video so you stop dressing safe. And follow if you are ready to start dressing like it actually matters. Because it does.